Hello there, and welcome to another episode of Cutting Through the Bullshit. I am your host, Dr. Stephanie Snyder, and I am a high performance mentor. Through my unique blend of strategy, mindset, and intuition, I help men and women to cut through the BS in order to create the life and business they desire. I'm really excited for this topic. So I had a decent swim today. I did over the weekend. I did a hill workout with my oldest daughter. And I'm not used to doing hills anymore. I grew up in New England where we did a lot of hills regularly. And now that we live in Virginia Beach, there aren't hills except for one hill. And by hill, I use that term very loosely. It's a mound of dirt. It's called Mount Trashmore, which is really quite funny. You should look it up. But she wanted to do a hill workout. So I did a hill workout with her on Saturday, and my calves are on fire still, and it's Tuesday. And so my swim was a little bit slower this morning, but it was actually really invigorating. Really great ideas. Had an incredible night's sleep last night, and actually, I shared about this on the previous episode, tapped into some other coach's energy and had a great coaching session last night while I was sleeping. So really, really fun. But today what we're going to talk about is the one shift that will legitimately make you millions of dollars. Okay. And this is not a shift that I made up. This is not something that came uniquely to me. This is a very, very popular shift. I've heard it from several different mentors and probably a lot more people than that, right? And so there was I don't even remember who coined it first, but it was, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right? If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're also right. But I'd like to take it a step further, because what I have found is that your belief system, your mindset is legitimately the most important factor when it comes to determining your success. Your beliefs, right? So your mindset, your beliefs, what you believe about yourself, who you are being, those are the things that make up your character. And those are the most important things that have a determining factor on your success, right? I can give you the steps, I can give you the strategy all day long, but if you don't believe it's possible for you, it doesn't really matter, right? So it's like giving somebody instructions to build a table, but if they don't believe they can build the table, those instructions don't matter. So the biggest shift that will legitimately make you millions is when you go from what if it doesn't work to what if it does. It's a very simple, it's just a couple of letters that shift in that, but it is so powerful. It has made me thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, that little shift, right? Not millions yet. I'm getting there, right? But it's very subtle, and a lot of people don't catch it. But what happens is it shifts your entire perspective, because our minds, and I've said this before, are computers. And if you type into Google or ChatGPT or whatever it is, if you type in images of bananas, it's going to give you images of bananas. If you type in images of cats, it's going to give you images of cats. Your mind is the same way. So if you think to yourself, what if it doesn't work? You're going to get a million of reasons why it's not going to work. Period. End of story. But if you think to yourself, what if it does work? Well, guess what? You're also going to have a million reasons about it working. So the key here, right, is not only the shift, but to catch yourself in the moment when you're thinking it's not going to work. And this is something that I have had the privilege of being reminded of repeatedly over the last few months, right? So I've shared a little bit about the ongoing pool saga at my house. And every time I leave or like I end a conversation and it isn't complete, it's not finalized, I think to myself, how would I respond if this was all working out? How would I respond if this were all working in my favor? And the truth is, if it's all working in my favor, I'm not worried about the time in between. Yeah, would I like my pool faster? Absolutely. Yeah, I wanted my pool last month. Okay? But it's still going to happen because I know it's going to happen. I decided that we're going to get a pool, and so it's going to happen. It just might not be on my timeline. But it's going to happen, and it's going to be perfect, and it's going to be great timing, right? And so just giving yourself that permission to say, okay, what if it does work, right? And then you hear people who are like, oh, well, don't get your hopes up. I'm sorry. Why not? Why not have your hopes up? Why not be excited about the expectation of the thing coming to fruition, right? So, and this is something that I have caught myself with recently, because we have some extra spending cash, and I have a long list of desires. I'm just going to be honest about it. Long list of desires, which I no longer feel guilty about, because desires are from God, from the divine, right? It's literally in the root of the word, right? So no longer feel guilty about these things. And I could go buy most of those things tomorrow. But I don't want to, because I'm going to enjoy the process, and I'm going to celebrate the sales and the income that come through my business by purchasing myself one of these desires, right? So the other day I actually I've wanted a paddleboard forever, right? Not really forever, but for as long as I can remember. And the hard ones, I just don't know where I would store it. I don't know. I don't really want to put it on the top of my car on one of those racks, because then I have to tie it down repeatedly. And so they came out with inflatable paddle boards, and I thought, oh, perfect solution. This will be great, right? But they were really quite pricey. Well, I found one the other day, brand new, for $160. And I was like, oh, that's how I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to celebrate some sales in our business by getting myself a paddleboard. And it showed up, and I can't wait to use it. I'm going to inflate it, probably take it out on Sunday morning, because we have a little pond nearby, or I can take it to the beach this week or whatever, right? But I could have bought that thing months ago, and it probably just would have sat in my garage, and I would have gone out with it at some point, but it wouldn't have felt the same as it did kind of celebrating the first couple of months of business with my husband, with the business that my husband and I purchased, right? So it was just a nice little celebration. But what's interesting, again, is you could go out tomorrow and buy all of the things that are on your desire list. Max out your credit cards, do whatever it is, right? And buy all the things. And you'd probably feel something. But would it feel the way that you really wanted it to feel, right? So there's a ring on my desire list that has been on that desire list for years. And I could purchase it right now. And it would be mailed to me, and it would feel amazing. But I want to have that experience of going to the store, trying it on, sizing it, all the things, right? And this was actually a conversation that I had with one of my mentors one time. The idea of, enjoying the journey, right? Because we can Amazon Prime all of the things, legitimately all of the things to our house tomorrow. But for what? Right? Don't you want to enjoy the process instead of just ripping open a crap ton of boxes on one day and then being like, okay, well, what's next? Right? So it is okay to delay some of the gratification, right? Because you know the thing's coming to you, as long as you think to yourself, what if this does work out? How awesome will it be when it works out, right? This is what I've been really just zoning in on for this pool, because it's taken longer than I initially thought it would. I thought we would have the pool, again, last month, right? But every time I sit outside, instead of being pissed off that the pool is not in my backyard yet, I look at the space where the pool is going and I think to myself, how awesome is it going to be when it's in? how great is it going to be that I can sit here from my office and I'll be able to see the pool? And I'll be able to walk outside. My kids will be splashing in the pool, and the patio around the pool and the furniture that we'll eventually get because, well, we don't need it all now, right? But just the whole layout, like the atmosphere, the beauty that that pool is going to bring to my backyard, and all of the memories that my kids will make. That is what I focus on, even when I go to the permit office and they're like, nope, you can't pull the permits yet. Okay. Frustrated right now in this moment, but I know the pool is coming, right? So just if I can offer you just one simple thing, it is this episode that you get where every time you hear yourself start to doubt, start to disempower yourself with all of these, what if it doesn't work, what if it doesn't work kind of conversations, just shift it and hang on to that energy of what if it does work? Because the truth is, life is working for you if you let it. And so how amazing will it be? How awesome will it be when it happens? It's going to be incredible, right? So I'm going to sign off here. If you have questions or you're ready to shift to the next level, please reach out to me. I currently have spots available for private coaching, and I am so excited about that next level for whoever decides to join me. And as always, be you, because the world needs more of you. Bye.